What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're doubling back with another winter seasonal topic. We've talked about designers so far, but here's a popular topic that I know I'm going to get asked about. I've already been asked several times about it. What are the 10 fragrances that I'm looking to wear / would recommend to you guys? They're clones. So I gathered the 10, and it's not the only 10. Some serious stuff got left off, but I really feel like these are the ones that deserve the spotlight, that I'm actually testing several of these to do full reviews on. And I've just been enjoying thoroughly, so it's like these are the obvious choices. So let's talk about these 10 clone fragrances that I would suggest you check out this winter. Stay tuned. Starting with the main one I suggest you check out. It's pretty close to Dior Parfum, but it's more like a spicy Dior Parfum. It's Fomo Parfums Gary's Den. Fragrance buys a little clone brand they got going on. They got 3 fragrances. This is that jam. It's a great performer. FYI, just to get it out the way, everything in this video is a great performer. Most of them are beasts, if not very strong, very long lasting. So just get that out the way now. They're all great performers. But that beautiful waxy iris, there's some cardamom, coriander, spice going on here. A little bit of labdanum that gives the leathery feel. I would say this is like 80-85% Dior Parfum. Maybe it's closer to the 100 milliliter version. I've never tried the 100 milliliter. I have 2 bottles of the 75 milliliter, the old style. That's way more leather heavy, animalic, kind of oudy smelling, a little bit of rose. Transitions into a creamy sandalwood, whereas here I think it's more on the spice, a lot more on the spice. It's almost like the forgotten flanker, like a spicy flanker to Dior Homme. I think this is amazing. I was totally prepared to trash this when I first got it because it's a clone of my beloved Dior Homme Parfum, and it is really, really close. In some ways, superior because of the spice and the tone down on the darker elements. Like, this could be better for some people versus what it's cloning. So I strongly encourage you to check this one out. It will knife you the cold, no problems. Fomo Parfums Gary's Den. This next one I literally wore yesterday at the recording of this video. It's somewhere in between Hachivat meets Aventus, which kind of makes it its own thing. It's Afnan's Supremacy Not Only Intense. Still a big fan of this one, guys. Blackcurrant Oak Moss Bomb. So you get a little, the smokiness people will talk about, it's because there's such a dark fruity nuance to the heavy black currant that mixes with the oak moss dominance and dryness. It's a very earthy, spiced, smoky type of oak moss. That's where you get your smoky, of course. Not like the birch smoke that you get from Aventus. This is beautiful stuff, and it's a beast. I only wore 4 sprays. I typically do 3 to 5 sprays with this one. 5 if I'm feeling froggy and really want to stand out. 3 to 4 sprays typically does what. God, it smells so good. It's just kind of hovering and suffocating the air right here, like I'm breathing it in. I don't just smell it. This is a monster. I don't want to hear about reformulations. I don't want to hear about new batches. I don't want to hear about what's your batch code, bro. I'm just talking about what this does for me. Your experience is subject to vary and be different because of your skin and whatever bottle you get if you buy into that stuff and reformulations and all that stuff. So certain fragrances, that stuff comes up quick fast. It came up in my shorts video for my scent of the day over and over. So that stuff happens a lot. Just know that for the money, I think it's an amazing option. It is still suffocating the air around me. This bottle is an absolute nuclear monster. 12 plus hours, crazy projection, crazy longevity. The sillage is strong and it's super masculine. And like I said, it doesn't smell exactly like Aventus or Hachivat, which I appreciate. Definitely a great option for the winter. Afnan Supremacy, Not Only Intense. This next one I've been pretty surprised by. I recently did a full review on it. I would take this 10 times out of 10 over Cremo Spice and Black Vanilla if I'm looking for a Spice Bomb Extreme clone. It's Fragrance World's Eau de Spice Mark and Victor Extreme. Yes, I know it's kind of funny. They jock the bottle styles and stuff like that, but the fragrance is really good. That warm, hot, spicy, earthy smell, creamy vanilla. It's got all of it with decent longevity. I've been getting 6 to 8 hours of longevity, solid projection for about an hour and a half. Like I said, I did a full review on this one. I did my share testing. I like this so much. This is so much more accurate than Cremo Spice and Black Vanilla. Don't get me wrong, that's good stuff, but I think this is slightly better I would encourage spending the extra $10 and going after this one if you want an even more accurate experience. Still, it's not one-to-one with Spice Bomb Extreme, but it gets really close in that 90% range, and it's going to knife through the cold and give you majority of the experience you would expect and or already get with Spice Bomb Extreme. This is noteworthy. This is definitely worth checking out. Basically, Spice Bomb Extreme on a budget is how you can look at it. It's Fragrance World's Eau de Spice Mark and Victor Extreme. This next one, it's more expensive online. I'll have a link below, but I encourage you to check TJ Maxx. It starts off red tobacco, dries into a beautiful creamy vanilla. It is Monarch Red Tobacco Vanilla. Clear ripoff of red tobacco, right? Marshalls and TJ Maxx, $15. Performance is actually pretty damn good too. It has that pungent, kind of smoked, sweet, woodsy, earthy smell that the original's known for. It absolutely smells like red tobacco, but it dries into a powdery vanilla. That's it. It's a different dry down than red tobacco, which again, I like the twists more than the carbon copies, so I can appreciate that. This one, look at that atomizer too. And because it's a loose bottle, you're able to try it. You don't have to blind buy this $15 fragrance. It's going to be a loose bottle at most Marshalls and TJ Maxx's. Some of them take the loose bottles if they have a lot of theft issues. They'll put it in little security devices, but this is actually really good. And for the money, for $15, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, if the bottle's loose, try it on skin, see if it's for you. But I highly doubt if you're looking for a great option for red tobacco on the cheap, you're not going to not pick this one up. It's surprisingly a great option that you can find at the rack stores for $15. It's Monarch Red Tobacco Vanilla. Now, I haven't smelled the original, which is Montal Arabian's Tonka, but I need to because Paris Corner's clone's phenomenal. It is Noir Darabi in the Pendora scents line from Paris Corner. So this, man, sugary sweet oud is the easiest way I can put this. It smells like sugary sweetness with oud. There's the other things going on, a little bit of earthiness. There's a touch of spice. You get some rose, clear rose. Performance is bananas. It's so strong. It really is. Lasts forever. This is good stuff. That is so good. It smells like a Montal fragrance. It really smells like the Montal DNA, that thumbprint that Pierre Montal puts in there. It smells like a similar oud oil to Montal and Mancera. That is so good with a sugarcane sweetness. You gotta like sweet. You gotta like oud. If you like those things, you're going to like this fragrance. Highly unlikely that you won't. And if you have Arabian's Tonka, you obviously don't need this. But if you're looking for it on a much greater budget versus what it's going for when it's in stock at discounters, get this. This will knife through the cold, no problem. This is built for the winter. This is a little too much for anything other than winter, in my opinion. But damn, does it smell good. Such a good choice here is Noir Darabi, Pendora scents from Paris Corner. Now, this one may not be a surprise. Some people are probably expecting to see this. Hell, I might put it in the thumbnail. I didn't make the thumbnail yet. But Savage Elixir with a slight twist and on a budget, you get Lattafa Asad, one of the most hyped clones of all time. We're talking in the realm of Club de Nuit Intense Man type of hype. Like, it's bordering that point now. There's a little bit of fruitiness in the top that offers a slight freshness that I don't really get much of in actual Savage Elixir. There's a coffee note that changes at some of the darker elements. But overall, it's that warm, woody, aromatic, spicy smell. Lattafa's version of Savage Elixir is basically how you can look at it. Great performance again. I know I said in the beginning I wouldn't keep bringing up performance, but you can't help look at the individual as you go through them. I get that coffee. I've had a bunch of people tell me they don't get it. I get a distinctive coffee bean smell, like a roasted coffee bean, not even coffee grinds, like a handful of like Arabica coffee beans, you know, a slightly darker roast or something like that. It's really good stuff. The hype is justified on this. $25 to $35. This is a winter monster. You'll probably get your share of compliments if Savage Elixir gives you similar success, or maybe you've tried other versions of Savage Elixir. There's hypes behind this one for a reason, guys. It's not going to be for everyone, but for those of you on a budget that want to spend around $30 and get a monster performer that smells really good, masculine, spicy, made for the season, yeah, you should check it out. It's Lattafa Asad. Now, I just recently got this, and this time of year, L'Homme Intense is very popular. Sadly discontinued. I have 2 bottles. But I have to say, Michael Dinsmore, the brand Making Sense, did a great job here. He's got what's called Iris Man Intense, which is his clone of L'Homme Intense. Now, I can tell you, I've done a full review on Iris Man, his clone of L'Homme, and it's spot on. You lose the brightness of going from an EDT to an X-Straight, basically, is what happened. That's the only difference. You lose the brightness of the EDT original because he cranked up the oil concentration. That's pretty much what happened here. Because it's got that moist patchouli leather, soapy iris smell. It's so good. God, he nailed it. I do get a little bit of spice here that's I don't necessarily get from L'Homme Intense, but I mean, this is like 95%. This is about as close as it's going to get. Lasts forever. God, it's so good. I still smell it in the air. It overpowered the last spray because I keep putting different sprays in the air, but this 17 ml runs you like $20. You can get a variety of bottle sizes all the way up to 100 ml. You can even get smaller than this. Grab it. Spend the winter with it. If you've been wanting to get L'Homme Intense but you don't want to pay resale prices, Michael Dinsmore at Making Sense has you covered. This is such a great addition. I will be doing a full review soon. I just started spending time with it and I am super impressed. This is Making Sense, Iris Man Intense. Next, we're going back to Fragrance World. This is one I've been working on a review with, and a lot of people, like today's live chat, for example, I saw 2 or 3 people that mentioned they were wearing Fahrenheit Le Parfum, because it's Fahrenheit Le Parfum time as the weather gets cooler, and Fragrance World has Renheit Parfum, which is pretty damn close. You get that licorice, violet leaf, rum-heavy accord, a little bit wood, a little bit of woodsiness as it dries. A lot of that licorice violet leaf combo, though, that hit a booze. Man, a lot of that violet leaf at the top. Man, this is so close. The quality's not quite there, matching up to Dior's, but it's not much of a trade-off here, guys. I mean, we're talking minuscule, hard to tell a difference. Up close, you got to really look for it kind of thing. They've clearly ripped the bottle off. It's an in-between the original Fahrenheit bottle and the Le Parfum bottle, which is stubbier than this, and the regular is skinnier and taller. It's in between. But they nailed it down. I'm impressed by this one. Another one kind of falls in that 6 to 8 hour range for me. Not a monster, but a strong performer, well above average. This is some good stuff. Again, when it comes to their designer clones, Fragrance World continues to impress me. They've been doing a good job. And if you're looking for Fahrenheit Le Parfum on a budget, because that's not a budget fragrance, you're going to pay over $100 for that 75 ml from discounters. It's only gone up over the years. You used to be able to get it for around 90, 100. Now it's more like 110, 120. So it's gone up. And for around 30, you can get Fragrance World Renheit Parfum. Get that to focus before we cut to the next scene. There we go, because that bottle is beautiful. So we talked about a great Dior Homme Parfum option that was very spicy. What about Dior Homme Intense? For those of you who don't like all of the leather, maybe you like more musk and sweetness. Well, old formula Dior Homme Intense clone. Paris Corner Pendora scents, Camaro Homme Intense. Time for me to start putting this one in the rotation too, because this beautiful waxy iris, it's going to cut through the cold. This is the time of year when I wear Dior Homme Intense, and this is a different version of Dior Homme Intense from what I have. I have the 2011 to 2020 version. This is more like the 2007, I find. So you get that muskiness, the sweetness. There's a touch of leather. There's a little bit of woodiness. It's more balanced like old Dior Homme Intense was, whereas newer versions are much sweeter. This is what it used to be, and performance is really good. Has that lipsticky type of waxiness to the iris, that fantasy iris note. Paris Corner did a great job this year with this fragrance. This is one of my favorite pickups of the year, especially when it comes to the clones. Absolutely one of my favorite clone pickups of the year, and worthy of checking out if you're looking for a great option for old style Dior Homme Intense. Check out Pendora Scents, Camaro Homme Intense. Last but not least is one of the coolest bottles I've seen. That they didn't dupe the bottle. Good for you, Fragrance World, because they've been duping bottles left and right. This is Spectra Ghost, which, I mean, I love that. The bullet going into it, creating the ripple and everything. I love the bottle. I do. It's a frosted glass, heavy base. Cap clicks really well. Got a really good atomizer. Really good. Smells like Nishane Ani. The only difference I've picked up is Nishane Ani is richer. The quality's a little bit better. It's richer, but the scent profile seems to be nailed down. That bright, effervescent, almost boozy-like benzoin smell, warm and spicy, vanillic, a lot of vanilla, that distinctive Nishane Ani vanilla smell, a little bit of woodiness as it dries. Magnificent. They did such a great job. The hype's real in this one. It's so good. But I just absolutely adore the scent profile. I'm a big Nishane Ani fan. It's my favorite Nishane fragrance. And Fragrance World did it. They did justice here. They made it pretty close. I'm going to call it 90% because the deep richness that I got when comparing them side by side, it's enough to warrant the 10% difference, I find. But, I mean, it's about as close as you're going to get. For the money, it's worth grabbing. The performance is great. The hype is real in this one, people. One of the best vanilla clones out there I've ever smelled, really. It's Fragrance World's Spectra Ghost. Well, that's the 10. Again, that's not the only 10 clones I wear throughout the winter, but that's the main 10. And some of them I've been spending time with recently. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What's some of those clones you're planning on reaching for? Did any of these spark your interest for this season to add to your collection and rotation? Let me know down below. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of these and you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.